Well, hey, welcome to Afford the Hobby. My name is Chris, and I want to talk to you about 3 things I wish I knew before selling sports cards on Whatnot. Now, if you're new to selling on Whatnot, it can be an overwhelming place. If you're used to eBay like I was, it's kind of gnarly. But Whatnot is actually an amazing place to sell some things, but there are a few things that I needed to know earlier that I hope that I can pass on to you here. Now, before we get started, I just grabbed a whole lot of cards from a card shop that I get some pretty good deals on pretty regularly to move on a Whatnot stream here in just a few hours. I want to take you through some of those cards, but that's not after the very first thing I want to tell you. The first thing I wish I knew before starting selling on Whatnot is a quantity over quality place. Now, please don't get me wrong. There's definitely a great opportunity to sell or even buy quality things on Whatnot. But for the most part, Whatnot's magic special sauce is the fact that you can move all these cards. This is roughly 100 cards in about an hour or so. Now here's the thing. You have to think about it this way. How long would it take you to sell this many cards on eBay? The answer is, at best you list them all today and you get it all done in 5 to 7 days on a 99-cent auction. That's great. Honestly, if that's your hustle, if you're comfortable with doing, Honestly, if you're comfortable with, picking it off one stack, and do a little bit each day and constantly get that machine churning, that's fantastic. I do that often. That all being said, Whatnot is not the best place to get full value for your cards. Hear me out. Let me say that again. Whatnot is not the best place to get full value for your cards. I have been absolutely crushed on $50, $75 cards that I sold for like $25. Now, if you're buying on Whatnot, awesome. But if you're selling, that hurts. But I need you to think about something. There's ways in which you can buy specifically in a certain price tier so that even if you're crushed a little bit, it's only a few bucks. But you have to also think about it this way. Your time is worth money. Your time is worth money. There's opportunity cost there. You can sit trying to squeeze $3 or $4 out of this extra, probably not this one. You can spend a few extra days and hours trying to squeeze $2 or $3 extra bucks out of this James Harden insert. But really the reality is if I can get $2, $3, $4, $5 even, maybe hopefully $5, I'd rather take that over 8 because I can get it done in an hour. Whatnot is a quantity over quality place. Speaking of quantity, let me run you through some of the things I bought. I'll tell you my thinking in grabbing these in just a second because that is my point number 2. But I got a lot of some rookies, some autographs. That's kind of cool. Some big names. I'm gonna sort this by. I got Herbert. Sort this by sport. Basketball. Some My House inserts. Some color, some disco, some rookies, some big names, all these things. A lot of this stuff is really actually pretty good. And so there's some baseball. Baseball will do okay. Isn't that kind of fun? Timmy T. A lot of this were dollar bin finds that honestly I think I'll do okay. Kelsey. Stuff like that. I got a big head Herbert, got a splash hero, Waddle, Fields, Tom Brady silver, Tom Brady in a Michigan uniform, kind of cool. I got this Cade Cunningham at a 10. I got this for about $70 instead of $100. They asked $150. Comps were about $1 to $120. We got it for about $70. Actually, I'm not sure if I am going to sell it. I don't know. I don't really care about it, but I'll tell you about why in a second. Some of this stuff also, that baseball, there's some Soto rookies, decent, basketball, some more football, T-Law patch, DJ Chark RPA, Patrick Mahomes second year, kind of cool. Some Ryan Mountcastle, some T-Law, Waddle, Herbert, Fields, it's a pretty cool Jordan. I got it out of a dollar bin. Who knows? Cunha, Rui, T-Law, Zach Ertz is kind of cool. Herb, a bunch more. Van Jefferson auto. Mookie Betts. and then Mahomes. Now, showing you a little bit of the cards I just grabbed for this Whatnot stream, I want to take you to point number 2. And point number 2 is this. Stick to the big names, stick to color, stick to variation, stick to number, take autos if you can find them. Here's why. There's a moment in Whatnot where there's a 20 to 30 second auction, right? That's often how things are run. If not even more gnarly, it's a sudden death. Like, it ends at that time. So people can't comp. And I will say this in all the love that I can give a Whatnot buyer, but oftentimes a Whatnot buyer is maybe uneducated, new to the game, or just impulse buys. That's cool. Like, that's part of learning. The amount of things that I paid way too much for as I was getting into the hobby, the amount of things I bought online or bought at a card shop just because I thought it was cool, that's why the hobby's the hobby. But Whatnot specifically is full of people who are just kind of impulse buying. Maybe they're swiping, laying down, going to bed, and they're just buying something they think is cool. The easiest way to capitalize on that emotion, the impulse buying, are big names, color, variation, numbered, autographs. And so a lot of what I picked up today are a Patrick Mahomes, for instance, right here. Patrick Mahomes, mosaic, green, red. Oh, dude, that's sick. Cool. Yeah, I'll pay $10 for this. That's not a big deal. It's probably not a $10 card, right? But because it's Patrick Mahomes, but because it's a color variation, because it's all these things, someone may swipe that thing up and I'll get more than overcomps on that. Same thing with this. It's a Van Jefferson autograph. Pretty cool. Nothing crazy, but I could get decent money out of it. Same with the Mookie Betts, color match, heritage, sparkle. It's pretty cool. I've seen streamers try to get the top dollar for no-name prospect, a First Bowman card, which, don't get me wrong, I love First Bowman, but they're trying to like talk the buyer into something, and they go, I don't know who that is, and I don't really care, and if I do care, it's because it's $3 and it's about to end, and I'll take a chance for $3. The goal here for me on Whatnot is the fact that someone goes, I love LeBron. I will buy a LeBron card, or I bought a Tom Brady silver. Tom Brady, it's a silver. It's great, cool, good enough. I'll impulse buy that, because the amount of times in which someone will just buy something because it's there, it's pretty high on Whatnot. And the last thing I wish I knew before I started on Whatnot is this. Man, don't sweat the comps. Here's the reality. Here's what I needed to hear pretty early on from friends of mine, is Whatnot is not a place to get full value. Like we talked about on the first one. It's quantity over quality. It's literally a place in which you can move a lot quickly and your time is worth money. And so although maybe a card is worth 20 and you get 15 for it, well, if you sold all those cards and you made 80% comps, that's better than trade at a card shop, but also you made it all in an hour. And now you have opportunity costs. You have a lump sum of money to roll into something else, maybe to buy another lot. And if you make smart buys, you actually can do pretty well on Whatnot. But man, it really, really puts the moment, the importance on buying smart. So this is like a bonus one, I guess, a caveat with that. Buy smart, like buy in lots. For Whatnot, you're not going to make money paying full comps for cards, unless, sure, you buy a card and it spikes a little and then you sell it, great. But again, comping doesn't really exist in Whatnot. So you have to buy correctly. You have to buy smart. You have to buy in bulk to get a discount, right? For me, I'll run down these numbers. I paid $450 after tax for all of these cards. That breaks down, I think I counted it, it's like 82 cards. Roughly breaks down to like $6 to $7 a card. Now, I'm not going to get $6 to $7 for every card. That'd be rad. But I'm going to get maybe 10 for some and 5 for others, 15 for a couple, 3 for some. And it evens out. And what I've done is make my cost per card about $6. That's kind of realistic on Whatnot. And so buy smart, buy in bulk, get good deals, get as much as you can. There's opportunity here to dollar bin your way to the top on Whatnot. So if you're at a card show, hit those dollar bins by color, by cards, by color, by numbered, by big names, and see what happens. If you're diving into Whatnot, maybe to buy it for the first time, I can give you $15. Whatnot will give you $15. But you can click my link and it'll help us both. That'd be rad. But if you're diving in and you want to sell on Whatnot for the first time, if you have any questions, just DM me. Dude, I'm happy to help. So we hope you do well. It's hard. It's worth it. If you stick with it, you can grow a real good following on Whatnot. And you can actually make some pretty good cash. So If you're on the other side and you're about to start a Whatnot channel, drop that in the comments. I'd love to follow you. I'll follow you back and all that stuff. But good luck to you. Whatnot is great. Whatnot is scary, but you can do it. So thanks for hanging. Peace. Also, the obligatory like and subscribe because I'm trying to grow this thing and